Hey,
Welcome to this episode of the Nonsensical Knowledge Podcast. We are back. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and make sure you leave us a comment. Irv, what's good, bro? There's been mad headlines, ton of news going on right now, some funky shit out there in the world. What is going on, bro?
shit is wild every day. I thought the pace of the election was fast. It's going crazy now. There's just so much to get into today.
Oh, it really is, man. We didn't even get a chance to like recap the election with like how bananas it still is. Here we are afterwards, and it's just incredible how these people are still acting out here. Um,
It
o-
is.
over these politics.
It's definitely divided. Trump's not fucking around. Um, I mean, we got so much, bro. I mean, Biden, we got. It's just, it's a wild time. It's a wild time to be alive. It's and to cover it with you, man, and make try to make sense of it.
Well, that's it. It moves so quickly too. Like we've said it almost every podcast, bro. Where it's like the news cycle just happens so quickly, and it's crazy because even for us, like who are paying attention, it's like it's so much. So for like somebody that isn't really into following this stuff, it's at incredible speeds.
Yeah, just to keep up. Like we're texts are going back and forth all day. Like, yo, did you hear this? Yo, did you hear this? I'm like, nah, what's up? Like, just all day, man. I mean, we got the COVID-19 study just dropped tonight. We got the Biden Hunter Biden pardon going on. We're supposed to have a UFO battle tomorrow. Like it's
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Is like there's just so much going on. I guess the biggest piece of news. Well, first and foremost, before we get into really anything, I just want to remind people to make sure you guys pop into our toy drive, which is going on at Flipper's Barbershop, 97 Congress Street, Troy, New York, and help make a positive impact in the community. And every year we donate toys to the less fortunate. And this year we are giving them to the Rourke Center. And this, I'll just add it to this is the flyer for it. So if anybody is interested in donating, just pop in, maybe get a haircut, and and help us make a positive impact. Now, with that being said, let's get into the shit, man. I guess the I texted you yesterday and essentially asked, if you had seen the pardon heard round the world, right?
yeah.
And for anybody that does not know, Joe Biden, President Joe Biden, pardoned his son Hunter. And for anybody that doesn't know, it was of incredible display of just tossing that executive power around, right? What do you think, man? What do you think happened with this? Like, he said for the longest time that he wasn't going to get involved. He wasn't going to undermine the justice system, and he just wasn't going to do it. And then fast forward, homie's on the way out of office, and he has pardoned his son Hunter.
Yeah, he
What?
said he had a stance and liberals are really going crazy by it. It's really upsetting to them. And it's upsetting to everybody because obviously the right's tight too. But the liberals, because he's been like, nobody's above the law. Nobody's above the law. And then he throws the parachute to his son, which, I mean, most dads would regardless anyway. Like, so I mean, regardless, like, whether Hunter Biden does time or not. Well, he's not
Well,
doing time.
now he's
He's
not.
not. Yeah, he's not. There's tax evasion. I'm not sure what else they nailed him for, but couple things.
So I'm gonna put the statement up, and we'll read the statement so that everyone can kind of see. This is the whitehouse.gov, and it is the statement, December 1st, 2024, statement from President Joe Biden. Today, I signed a pardon for my son Hunter. From the day I took office, I said I would not interfere with the Justice Department's decision making, and I kept my word, even as I have watched my son being selectively and unfairly prosecuted without aggravating factors like use in a crime, multiple purchases, or buying a weapon as a straw purchaser. People are almost never brought to trial on felony charges solely for how they filled out a gun form. Those who were late paying their taxes because of serious addictions, weird, but paid them back subsequently with interest and penalties are typically given non-criminal resolutions. It is clear that Hunter was treated differently. The charges in his case came about only after several of my political opponents in Congress instigated them to attack me and oppose my election. Then, a carefully negotiated plea deal agreed to by the Department of Justice unraveled in the courtroom, with a number of my political opponents in Congress taking credit for bringing political pressure on the process. Had the plea deal held, it would have been a fair, reasonable resolution of Hunter's cases. No reasonable person who looks at facts of Hunter's case can reach any other conclusion than Hunter was singled out only because he is my son. And that is wrong. There has been an effort to break Hunter, who has been 5.5 years sober, even in the face of relenting attacks and selective prosecution. In trying to break Hunter, they've tried to break me, and there's no reason to believe it will stop here. Enough is enough. For my entire career, I have followed a simple principle. Just tell the American people the truth. They'll be fair-minded. Here's the truth. I believe in the justice system, but as I have wrestled with this, I also believe raw politics has infected the process, and it led to a miscarriage of justice. And once I made this decision this weekend, there was no sense in delaying it further. I hope Americans will understand why a father and a president would come to this decision. To all to whom these presents shall come greeting. All right, so be it known that this day I, Joseph R. Biden Jr., President of the United States, pursuant to my powers under Article 2, Section 2, Clause 1 of the Constitution, have granted unto Robert Hunter Biden a full and unconditional pardon for those offenses against the United States which he has committed or may have committed or taken part in during the period from January 1st, 2014 through December 1st, 2024, including but not limited to all the offenses charged or prosecuted, including any that have resulted in convictions by special counsel David C. Weiss in docket number blah, 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 in the United States District Court for the District of Delaware and docket number blah, 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 in the United States District Court for the Central District of California. In my testimony whereof, I have hereunto signed my name and caused the pardon to be recorded with the Department of Justice. Now, this is a big deal, right? So essentially, homeboy just pardoned him from 2014 until yesterday, right? So that covers all of the stuff that may have happened with Burisma, right? Because he was working for that Ukrainian oil company where it was like a no-show job, but they were kind of giving him, what were they giving him? They were giving him a couple million a year to, to be honest,
Yeah.
Right. Okay, cool. Right. So, and then also all of the gun charges. Now, for anybody that doesn't know, Hunter Biden was caught smoking crack, right? And lied on his application for a gun that he was not under the influence of drugs, right? Is that if do I have that right?
That's correct.
That's
Hunter Biden. I'm gonna Google it right now. Hunter Biden on crack. Um, but so essentially now this pardons him from any wrongdoing from 2014 to now. Biden also said that he feels like this was a personal attack or a political attack, right? So, what do you think about that? What do you think?
I think it definitely was a political in a sense, but Hunter really did shit too. But each side wants to get each side, and to bring it back, I mean, the Hunter to the whole it goes back to the Hunter Biden laptop that showed up at a computer repair shop, and it had all of this information about all of these things that he did in the back office dealings and the pictures with hookers and the smoking crack and all of that stuff. And that came out during the election, like a year before the election between Trump and Biden, and all of the intel agencies came out and said it was Russian collusion just to make it not be real. They basically said this isn't real, it has no teeth. All of these intelligence bigwigs signed this document saying it was. But if this laptop actually came out and they didn't lie and say it wasn't true, then Joe Biden never would have really won that
Right.
election in the first place. So, like, that Hunter Biden laptop lie is just huge too, which led to these charges as well, because all that information was on these laptops.
Well, what's wild too about it was like with the Russian collusion aspect to it was is that there, like you said, there was like 50 something high ranking intelligence officials that signed this and said, "Yo, this is like him colluding with Russia." There was also rumors that the Bidens had taken money from Ukraine and Russia. All of the emails had essentially stated like, here I'll remove this too, just in case you want to throw something up, but um, had stated that they had found all of that information in the laptop, and then the laptop just disappears. It's swept
Yeah.
under the rug. FBI gets rid of it, and that's to me that's concerning because when you have any sort of corruption, it's got to be called out, right? So, like when Trump was running for office, you know what I mean? They did the whole Russian collusion thing and they did the investigations. But what well, I guess what I'm trying to say is why are these institutions or like FBI, CIA, all of these places like being politicized and what's it called there? How do they use it? What's the term they use to weaponize? They weaponize
Oh,
the
weapon
the justice system.
opponents. Yeah,
You know, um,
it's it's not good. I mean, the moves Trump's making. I mean, it's part to say, hey, you guys are corrupt. Like, look at the UAP shit, UFO, the whole thing. Like, billions of dollars are being siphoned away. Presidents can't know about it. Um, Nobody in Congress really knows about what's going on with these black projects. Like, none of this stuff. And this is 80 plus years of secrecy, like a shadow government working on this UAP stuff. Like, that's not how it works. That's not how America was set up to work. So that's just one area that that whole intelligence thing is gathering, and then the Pentagon hasn't passed the damn audit in how long? I mean, they fail audit, so I
Seven
think the
audits in a row.
tide's turning. 7 audits in a row, and I mean they're $800+ billion a year budget, and nobody knows where the money's going. So it's just secrecy. A lot of it has to do with secrecy, and then the bureaucrats, people that we never vote for or never meet, that just continue to work there year after year and gain more and more power.
Yeah. What do you think? So with that being said, obviously Trump has established the Department of Government Efficiency, right?
Hmm.
Uh, and then also just nominated Kash Patel to lead the FBI,
So that.
right? So though that's relatively new news as well, but these are like overhauls of that government, right? So like essentially what they're going to do is they're going to go through these departments, like you said. They said they were even going to audit the IRS, you know.
Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe.
Right. And essentially what they're doing is they're going to take people out, like all them people that don't do anything all the time. It's just like, oh, hey, I just work here and I get a six-figure salary, you know. Um, they're getting rid of those people. They're getting rid of the waste. They're cutting all the bureaucracy out, And I personally think it's a good idea because obviously with these compartmentalized, like the secrecy you said,
Yeah.
it's insane when a president or a top general or somebody in the government oversight committee, they want information and they can't be read in.
No.
Yeah,
No.
it's like it's none of your
Get the
business.
hell out of here. Who are you? Yeah, like go away. Like, yeah, I mean Rubio, Senator Rubio, Kirsten Gillibrand, even Chuck Schumer, bro. Like some of the most powerful senators in the country. Like, nah, beat it. This is above your pay grade. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you actually mean?
Yeah. So
That's
it's interesting.
not
It's
that.
interesting though, Irv, because really the tide turned when the UFO UAP thing started, right? So like obviously after Roswell, they created the CIA, they created the NSA, they created all of these different compartmentalized intelligence agencies, um, and then broke everything down. Like it's like, no, this ships off to Lockheed Martin, this ships off to Skunk Works, this ships off to Dulce, New Mexico, and none of you guys can collaborate. Um, and that's what's insane about these black budgets. Like what's our current debt right now? Our current debt is like US debt. And our national debt, what is it? Of course, I can't just get a number. But in any event, like all of this money, this taxpayer money, so we were just talking about the COVID, the Senate released the COVID summary. Essentially, the House Oversight Committee went over it, but they had found that what was it like $191 billion the taxpayers paid to fraudsters.
Yeah.
Imagine 191 billion to fraudsters, and your own government is taking trillions on the back door. Like, how do you ever get out of
Yeah.
debt?
No, man. I mean, they're all rich. They're all rich, just siphoning that money. And they're really big on the whole Ukraine thing as a money laundering scheme. I mean,
Right. They did
that's
over.
what yeah, that's what they're saying. They released 750 million tonight. They're rushing it over to Ukraine. And yeah, Secretary Blinken announced it and people are up in arms, bro. Like, are you serious? Like right now? Like that's what you're doing? Like with all the Americans out here struggling and hurting and all of this stuff, like it's not even really about Trump, bro. It's about people want us to support America. So
Yeah.
it's that American first shit is real, and it's like, yo, who's gonna put America first?
Well,
They're
when are we going
being
to get
sold out.
right? When are we going to get back to the root of America, the core of America, as opposed to what it's turned into?
Yes,
Because it's never supposed to have been, these career politicians sitting in Washington for 50, even Biden. Look at Biden. What was he in there
yeah,
for 70 years or something like
yeah,
that?
about 70.
Not 70. That's an exaggeration, but he was there for like 50, like
Close
a
enough.
legitimate 50 years, bro. Back in the day, these were like the farmers that had to go back to the farm and like farm, like not you weren't just a career politician,
Nah,
you know.
George Washington always wanted to give up the power, bro. Like, nah, this is. I want to go back to the farm. Like, he always like, yeah, I just want to go home. Like, yeah, I did. I put my sacrifice in, but it's really up to the people to take it, carry the torch. Like, it's your country. Like, are you just gonna sit and let shit happen, or are you gonna stand up and hold up the
Maintain
Constitution? Yeah,
maintain that shit, you know.
yeah, maintain
Um
it.
but I think unfortunately though, or what has happened though, is the people that had the power, like that took the power, consolidated it and said, look, we have to keep this,
Yeah,
and unfortunately, you do that for 100 years, bro, and there's a literal shadow government,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah. You can't get records. And that, yeah, there's definitely that. And so there's a lot of shaking up going on, like both sides, the right and the left. The career people are nervous. They don't know what's gonna happen, but it's really gonna be like Kash Patel is like, yo, I'm closing down DC. Like,
Oh,
go
what's
be yeah,
listen,
he's like, yo, go be cops, bro. Like, why
what
do
he,
we need 7,000 people in this building?
yeah, well, he
You gotta
said,
pull that. If you gotta pull that up, we can play that video. That'd be dope.
I'm gonna try to get the video right now. Kash Patel shut down FBI because he said he was gonna turn the FBI headquarters into a museum
For the
and
deep state. Yeah,
of the deep state. And
which is
to me, yeah, let's see if this is it. I bear with me here because I have no idea. Let's share that. Let's add that to the stage. Right. Let's see if we can go full screen on that.
This is the soundbite that must have reeled him in, Rich. South 11, Patel and the Sean Ryan show in September.
And the biggest problem the FBI has come out of its intel shops. I'd break that component out of it. I'd shut down the
is
FBI
it
Hoover
fast for
building
you?
on day one. And the next day as a museum of the deep state. And I
What'd
take
you
the
say?
It's choppy and fast on my end.
All right. Let's see. Do you want to see if you could throw it up?
Yeah, let me see.
Remove it because it could be my Wi-Fi, but
I don't know why. I just want to make sure that it's coming across on the screen. Let's see.
yeah, no diggity. We got some comments. Let's see.
See if mine
Yeah,
is.
Kenny. Thank you, Kenny, for tapping in, my man. What up?
It's probably 37 right now, Kenny. Since you
I know,
typed
right?
that.
It's constantly going up. We got to get Kenny a link, man, and get him on here.
Oh no.
Joe Ski, Irv got the McDonald's drive-through headphones on. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. 20
shit.
nuggets, $5, bro. Cash at me, Joe.
Shout out Joe Ski.
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah. See, Kenny tapping in.
All right. I got the video. I'm gonna put it up.
All right, do your thing, man. Throw that shit up. I'm gonna close mine out. Oh wait, why did I stop sharing?
Did you?
No, you're good though. That's your stage, right?
Yeah.
That's your stage.
On the John Ryan show.
The biggest problem the FBI has come out of its intel shops. I'd break that component out of it. I'd shut down the FBI Hoover building on day one and reopening the next day as a museum of the deep state. And I'd take the 7,000 employees that work in that building and send them across America to chase down criminals. Go be cops. You're cops. Go be cops. Go chase down murderers and drug dealers and violent. What do you need 7,000 people there for? Same thing with DOJ. What are all these people doing here? Looking for their next government promotion, looking for their next fancy government title, looking for their power out of government. So while you're bringing in the right people, you also have to shrink government.
That's when Charlie's heart started to go a little flutter.
I love it. I love it. I do.
Right. So
Yeah,
that
man,
that's I see a lot of people are saying that he's going to have a hard time getting through the Senate, because it could just be smear campaigns and shit like that. But same time, like that dude, I mean, he's right. I mean, get rid of it. Like, what are you doing? There's too much power, man. There's too much
criminals out there. Like all the cities are like burning and shit. You guys are in this building chilling. Like, oh, we got to get a promotion, or maybe I could get in with Delta Airlines when I'm done and have a top notch security job or whatever it is. Like, they're not like, yo, let me do what's best for the country. They're like, let's do what's best for us to get up to the top, so then we could be the new gatekeepers. Like, that's a whole paradigm shift that our country hasn't seen before. So a lot of people are scared. Like, I'm down. Let's roll.
I'm down with it too, man, because you really and it's crazy because Trump said it in his first term. Like, he kind of ran on that shit where he was like going to drain the swamp in a sense. It didn't really happen. And what ended up happening is because he was never a politician, he gets into office and he just starts like taking recommendations on people to put around him. And you can see this time around, he wasn't fucking around. He was like, yo, I'm going to get RFK. I'm going to get Tulsi. I'm going to get all of these places. I'm going to get Elon. I'm going to get Vivek. I'm going to get, what do they got? They got Ron Paul involved now.
Ron Paul. Yeah.
So it's
Ron
like,
Paul's been my favorite, like the only politician I ever really like. This is my dude, Ron Paul.
yeah.
As he was just real, bro. Like, yo, the government shouldn't be in your life. You should be allowed to live and pursue your life and your dreams and your goals. And like, government shouldn't be in your way. They should be like, okay, we're here to support you, but it's always like, nah, we're here to get you. And I respect that. Yes, Justin, government is definitely too big.
Way too big. Yes, sir. Thank you for tapping in, man. Well, exactly. And that's the biggest thing, man, is just kind of reeling all that stuff in. And a lot of people are scared because the cesspool of the government, bro, is going to be in upheaval, and a lot of people don't understand that. They get scared, like, oh, he wants to tear down the FBI. No, you have to see the point of this. They're too powerful. When the CIA can whack out presidents and get away with it and then just threaten every president there forward, there's a problem. And I think the Department of Government Efficiency is a good thing. It should have been something that has happened a long time ago. And the power shift is happening.
Yeah, and they have an end date. Like, they're not like, which is crazy because like the saying is, once there's a government agency, it's never going away. Like, Doge is one of the first government agencies with an end date. I think it's July 4th, 2026. And they're hoping to save a ton of money. I mean, just some of the stuff that they've already found, like just researchers looking at stuff like, 50 million on trans monkeys. They had one where it was like 10 million to watch hamsters on steroids fight each other. Like,
stop.
Yeah, you got to pull up the list, bro. The list is crazy. And
what are they called?
Like, it's probably under Doge, government spending, like crazy government spending projects.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, they had like study gay Burmese monkeys. Like, it's crazy, bro. You gotta pull that up for the peeps.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Yo,
figure
Joe,
out.
you kill me with that McDonald's shit.
No,
Yo,
that's
I
just fun.
used to work drive through on Pearl Street, the McDonald's, when I was 16. I was nice in the drive through too. I loved
That's
it.
they closed that one down, right? That's the one at the
Yeah, they
bottom.
closed it down. Yeah. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a damn, that was a dope spot.
Hamster Fight Club. Yeah, Kenny. That's funny.
Yeah,
No,
jacked up on
this
steroids.
this is what your money's going to, though. Like, taxpayer dollars are going to this type of stuff, and when it comes down to it, we shouldn't be spending that kind of money on just anything.
Nah, bro. Imagine they was like, yo, Ed, I'm gonna hit you with this million, see what you could do in the community. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be some real impactful shit. Like, if you're gonna study gay monkeys, like, bro, just throw me 500K. Let me work. I'll show you a study on my life.
Well, it's super interesting too because like people like Alex Jones who came out and said like on the Rogan podcast like, oh, they're turning the frogs gay. It's happening. Like, they're really doing this stuff, man. And a lot of people are so busy and so tied up in their real lives, man, that they have no idea to be like, yo, let me see where my money's going with the government. You know, if half the people knew that their money was going to that, they wouldn't be paying taxes, bro.
No. And that's all they're saying is like, people should be held responsible because they're just shitting this money away.
Yeah, and it really is, and I think that was probably one of the best decisions. Like Justin said, was all of those names really helped him get over the finish line because it really is that accountability starting to happen. It's like, we got the team. Like, this is like the Republican Avengers, bro. You know what I mean? Like, they stole hella Democrats and was like, all right, let's just put this team together, for real though, and what ends up happening is, and it sucks, bro, because 4 years is 4 years, and hopefully they can get a lot done in 4 years. But I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen, and the House Oversight Committee, they've been on their shit. They've been trying to get answers. We just, like you said earlier, we just got the, well, I guess we can get into that real quick. The Senate's summary on, let me see if I still got it here.
COVID-19.
The final report on the COVID-19 pandemic here. So I'm just going to go over the overview because it is pretty long. It's 500 pages and we just don't really have time for that tonight. Let's see if we can get some zoom here so everybody can see it. How's that look, right? So essentially what happened, guys, is that the House Oversight Committee went through and did a report on COVID and what happened during COVID, and essentially came to the conclusion and issued it in a 500-page report. I guess I can just skip to the summary, which, if for anybody, this is on the House Oversight Committee's website. It's easy to get. It's a government website. Not that it should be trusted anyway, but
include the link in the YouTube video.
Right. Yeah, we'll get that in there for everybody too. So essentially, we got the origins of the coronavirus pandemic, including but not limited to the federal government's funding of gain of function research. The COVID-19 origin. COVID-19 most likely emerged from a laboratory in Wuhan, China. The 5 strongest arguments in favor of the lab leak theory include the virus possesses a biological characteristic that is not found in nature, which means that this was something that was altered and put together by us, by humans. It just doesn't happen naturally.
Biological weapon.
Data shows that all COVID-19 cases stem from a single introduction into humans. This runs contrary to previous pandemics where there were multiple spillover events. Wuhan is home to China's foremost SARS research lab, which has a history of conducting gain-of-function research at inadequate biosafety levels. Wuhan Institute of Virology researchers were sick with a COVID-like virus in the fall of 2019, months before COVID was discovered at the wet market. By nearly all measures of science, if there was evidence of a natural origin, it would have already surfaced. Proximal origin publication. The proximal origin of SARS-CoV's publication, which was used repeatedly by public health officials and the media to discredit the lab leak theory, was prompted by Dr. Fauci to push the preferred narrative that COVID-19 originated in nature. So now this is our Senate, a House Oversight Committee, the House Oversight Committee, saying that Dr. Fauci misled us. Right? That's what I got from it. Maybe I'm reading that wrong, but it says, which was used repeatedly by public health officials and the media to discredit the lab leak theory, was prompted by Dr. Fauci to push the preferred narrative that COVID-19 originated in nature. So they're basically saying homeboy dorked us. Like, yo, they were just trying to push. And remember back when it was going on, Irv, they were finding money from his organization, which was what what was he the head of?
National Institute of Health. And,
right. So yeah. So let's see here. The gain of function research, a lab-related incident involving gain of function research, is most likely the origin of COVID-19. Current government mechanisms for overseeing this dangerous gain of function research are incomplete, severely convoluted, and lack global applicability. Eco Health Alliance, Inc. Eco Health, under the leadership of Dr. Peter Daszak, used taxpayer dollars to facilitate dangerous gain of function research in Wuhan, China. After the select subcommittee released evidence of EcoHealth violating the terms of its National Institute of Health grant, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services commenced official debarment proceedings and suspended all funding to EcoHealth. So essentially, this one doctor, Dr. Peter Daszak, used American taxpayer dollars to facilitate this gain of function research in Wuhan. So that I'm assuming that's how they're tying Fauci to the gain of function research is through this guy, because they had a National Institute of Health grant. So they were granted money.
And also in labs in Ukraine too. There's a ton of labs in Ukraine that were doing the same thing.
Right. Well, Tulsi Gabbard was a big proponent in exposing that shit. She was like, yo, there's all kinds of labs. None of them are secured. And then they called her a Russian. They
were killing me with that. I'm like, she's the last one to be a Russian asset.
Yeah. So there's one here, NIH failures. NIH's procedures for funding and overseeing potentially dangerous research are deficient, unreliable, and pose a serious threat to both public health and national security. Further, NIH fostered an environment that promoted evading federal record-keeping laws, as seen through the actions of Dr. David Morenz and Freedom of Information, quote, Freedom of Information Act lady Marge Moore. So again, the NIH failed to keep up to federal record keeping. So from the early onset of this, they knew they screwed up and immediately started evading all of the federal record keeping. So, bro, it sounds to me like they were trying hard to cover this up from the beginning, but we knew this. Remember when people were calling us fucking bananas, bro, for believing this shit? This is if anybody that's watching, remember during COVID, they literally just slayed us, to even think that any of this shit was happening.
I mean, it was a tough. It was really a psyop, bro. I mean, you do have people dying. Like the news got people jacked up. They're like, people are dying. They're respirators. Like all the old people, rest in peace, that died in the nurses' homes in New York. Like that was just a tough time. Like in the whole world, we all went through it, bro. Like we all got some hangover trauma and some shit wrong with us from that COVID thing. Not seeing families, missing birthdays. Like my pops died during COVID, bro. It was like you could only have 10 people there. You know what I mean? Like we never really had the chance to like bring people together. Like it's like you're just talking like, okay, we could have 10 people here and you got to be spaced out. Like no hugging, no nothing. You know what I mean? Like for it all to be a lie, it's like, bro, where do you go? People's got to pay for this. Like there's no like, oh, it's okay, we're going to move on. Like no, that has to be dealt with, and this is a huge step to that happening. Justin said Fauci should be brought before a tribunal for what he has done.
He's absolutely right, man. Where is Fauci? As a matter of fact,
bro, underground.
Kenny, thank you for tapping in, my man.
Yes, sir.
Justin also said it was the largest psyop in world history. You're right, because
that's real shit.
Again, now where do we go from here? Because we were lied, like blatantly. This is supposed to be the government and the people that tell us what's good for our health, bro.
Yeah.
And here it is, the House Oversight Committee basically saying, no, this is what happened. Fauci's gone, bro. Fauci's sitting on a beach somewhere in like Nicaragua, Venezuela, somewhere. They told homeboy to dip. Like, yo, get out of here.
Yeah.
Don't ever just keep your mouth shut. Get out of here.
He's on Epstein Island.
He's on Epstein Island. Yeah, there you go. But didn't he have some sort of immunity too? Like, it's
the world order, bro. Like these cats ran the world. Health. Stay 6'6", the social distancing, bro. He's like, yeah, I don't know where that came from. I think somebody just made it up to be like Fauci said this in an interview. I'm like, bro, like you were preaching this to us, like footprints. It was showing us the distance, bro. It was really like looking back at it, bro. It was really like some serious like military shit. Like,
dude, you remember what they did to Australia, right?
Yeah.
Like Australia was like on some real martial law type shit.
Yeah.
So like, and that was the crazy part, because we were saying it from the beginning, was like, this is a test. This is a test run. So if we can get people to, maybe shelter in place 2 weeks, flatten the curve. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Like 2 weeks, flatten the curve. And then they shut us down, bro. They shut down small businesses. They, like you said, people lost everything. There's still people that we know that lost like family that are still alive. Like they're like, yo, they won't talk to them because of not getting the jab or getting the jab.
Yeah, get the jab.
Right.
Oh, all the young people dying from the jab. We didn't even get into the jab being poison and toxic. Like people, 30 years old having heart attacks, people heart tissues messed up. Like every 99% of the people have microplastic in our lungs from wearing a surgical mask. Like that's a long-term effect. Like we all have that in our systems, in our lungs, like just from constantly having those masks on. Even the kids, man, the reading levels are shot, like because they miss so much school, like
Yeah.
um families being broken up, like that whole generation. Like I have school age kids, they're different. They didn't get to go like, oh, me, like I brought my son home. This was at the start of COVID, 2019, 2020, and he didn't meet nobody. There
Didn't
was
get
no
no.
family. There was no
Yeah.
family coming over. It was just
Right.
us. Normally, grandmas are holding them. Like everybody's like, it's a community thing. Welcome home. Like he didn't get that. He just was with us that whole time, which is great. Like we're good people to be around, but it's not part of their normal social thing. So they're different in a way.
Yeah. Well, no, of course, because they missed crucial years of actual social interaction. And whether a lot of us don't like the public school system at all, or these kids learn how to socially interact with other human beings, and for the longest time they're stuck in the house, bro. They can't go nowhere. The tension you can cut with a knife because nobody knows what's going to happen. Remember, it was just like it, it's insanity, bro. And to find out that it was all a lie, though, we knew it, and people shamed us and talked shit. But here we are. Now what?
Yeah.
And
They're
now
not
what
getting
about?
no apologies, bro. Knock your shit off.
Listen, I don't
You
even
should
care.
though. People should be
Even
like, yo, my bad, bro.
You know what? I don't care for an apology, bro. What I worry about is the people that took that fucking shot. Because like to me it's like I have nothing against anybody that decided to, but like you said, what are the long-term effects? How is that going to manifest later on down the road? Is our kids going to have like more autistic kids? Are we going to have more like pregnancy deficiencies? Like you know how it manifests with these
Yeah.
long.
I mean, the pregnancy rates are dropping. Like everything is coming out of COVID on the downtrend, man. Like they really worked us over and it
Justin,
was global.
Justin, you're absolutely right, man. The most reputable doctors, guys
Yeah.
the dude that created the RNA vaccine,
Yeah.
or
I
not even
know.
gene therapy, they deplatformed him, kicked him off of X, kicked him off of Facebook, YouTube, all of that shit. And then now what? They ruined careers over this.
Careers, cats lost their license. Um, yeah, man. It's gonna take some time to unravel. Um, but like people are gonna have to pay, and hopefully just for justice sake, man, and all the people that died and everything that we've been through, like it's gotta never happen again. And only way that happens is if the people
But
involved.
you got Bill Gates out there talking about the next one is on its way.
It's on its way. It's gonna be it's gonna be here. But now the trust, like all of these trust systems breaking down. So now like if some real shit does happen, which is very possible, like it's nature, like some bad shit does come in the genome and wipe people out, like the Black Plague, like cats really die. But the next time that comes around, people are gonna be like, nah, I'm not hearing it. I'm not
Yeah.
doing it. I don't want no parts of it. You know what I mean? And
And
then
that's a catch 22 though, or because where we should have some sort of guidance, like say like now they want to be on a straight and narrow, they're giving us solid information. Now you already broke the trust. So now what could save lives won't, because people aren't going to trust you
Yes.
to get on board with that type of shit. You know what I mean?
You're no longer authority to tell us what to do, and that's another sad part about it, is that these institutions are supposed to be like, I get like the waste and bribes and all that shit, but when it comes to people, you gotta be straight up. Like, it's lives, it's finances, it's the whole shit, man. You just can't do that, man.
Well, especially when you knew that you were kind of doing gain of function research, where if there was a lab leak, you knew this could happen. So is it, to me, that's kind of irresponsible, because what I get it, they use the excuse of, well, we're just trying to develop new vaccines, we're trying to do all this other shit. This is, like you said, a bioweapon earlier. This is similar to them dropping ticks with Lyme disease on people.
Yeah.
The difference is that you just got a global pandemic, and with these people at the World Economic Forum talking about population control, and we need to decrease population, we're overcrowded. What better way, man, to just do your agenda, just run it. Like, here's a pandemic, but
Hold that.
Yeah, and it's tough, bro, because now again, we going forward, how does this affect anybody? Does Fauci get subpoenaed? Do they subpoena Fauci and charge him with something? Like, who gets charged here? Like, how does that work?
I don't know. They have all these people got protections and whatnot. I know they got to be sick. Trump won because he's down to prosecute some people for this type of shit, and I think that's what they're scared about.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, I think he should be prosecuted. Like, I mean, when you like, when there's all that evidence, and the Senate has essentially said that, like, this was the biggest sham in world history, somebody's got to be accountable.
Yeah, but you can't just get a parachute and go chill and live your life. Like, my bad. Like, nah, bro.
Well, you think they serve him up on a platter, though? They say, hey, look, hey, bro.
No, bro.
You got to get out.
I say he would, probably be some suicide shit. Suicide himself or some shit like that.
Oh, he's going to end up on a Clinton body count.
Yeah. I don't think that he'll ever see a courtroom, but he'll see some type of something.
Yeah, I think he just disappears, man. Falls out later. You know what I mean?
It's gone now, so we don't know.
Yeah, when I just Googled them, it just basically, there's like a couple articles here, but it doesn't really say where homeboys.
Fuck Waldo. Where is Fauci?
Where's Fauci, bro? Yeah, that's why I said, because again, when it comes down to it, now it's just like, oh, this is another part of U.S. history that just gets thrown in the dustbin, and nobody gets in trouble, nobody's held accountable, and then here we are. We still got people that just trust the government wholeheartedly, and they would never do such a thing.
Nah, they got our best interest. They're always looking out for us, the people.
Oh yeah, no question, man. And that's, to me, I'm still baffled, because you just told me about this before we started live streaming, and I didn't even know it now. And so, like, I'm learning it all on the fly too, and it's just it baffles my mind, man. It's like almost as disgusting as this dude pardoning his son.
Yeah, it's all related.
Well, it's all happening right now, so there's this transition happening. You see this big shift in politics, And now everybody's like, oh shit, who's the fall guy? We got to pick the fall guy. And what's interesting too is that Kash Patel, there's been rumors. I haven't seen any real articles yet, but there's been some rumors that Kash Patel, once he gets into the FBI, would release the Epstein client list.
I did hear that. I haven't seen it though. I think he did. He mentioned it in a video though. I did see a video where he talked about getting it released.
Yeah, Justin, I doubt he's going anywhere near there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I mean, do you think it actually happens? Do you think homeboy gets in there, finds out because you got to imagine, like, I could see this being on some like National Treasure, fucking secret black book shit. But who keeps that information if they're trying to hide it? You know what I mean? Like, if the FBI didn't release it yet, then why even keep that around?
I don't know. Why do they visit every mass shooter before they actually do it? Like, why? Like,
Yeah.
why? Oh, the FBI was there 2 months ago. Got a call her. Every single one. I can't even remember the last one that they haven't. So like,
Well, what was it? The Trump shooter, right? The assassination attempt. Very little information at all regarding
Still.
that. Still, after all of this time, and they essentially said that somebody was traveling from an FBI location in Washington to see that dude, and wherever he was in Pennsylvania or whatever.
Then they try to plant it on the Iranians to go to war with Iran. I'm like, yo, chill, man. You guys, they're like, it was an Iranian plot. I'm like, bro, that's the last people that are coming here to do some shit like that.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but this kid had no online footprint either. Like zero. He was like 20 something years old, bro, and he's got absolutely no online footprint. They scrubbed his house. Like, remember, it was like professionally scrubbed.
Never heard from his parents.
Yeah,
No
right.
interview, no nothing.
Well, didn't they charge the dad with buying the rifle?
Nah, that was the dude in Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Nah, they didn't. No charges on them because he was of age and he did it. He bought them.
Yeah, it's wild. Manchurian candidate shit, bro.
Allegedly.
You know, I look at it as like they're still probably running them fucking Manson trials where they like drug them up on acid and
bro. All the missing people. I mean, whatever the aliens are taking and whatever, but yeah, there's so many black ops, man.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's wild, bro, because again, it's just like so compartmentalized. Like, you have shit that's like, you have units that are going political, units that are going deep black ops, like shit where they're going to kill terrorists, spy shit, and then like just people just hiding everything. Even if, like, what is it called there? The Men in Black were real. You know, that's like a whole nother, like, a shadow thing. You know what I mean?
Whole department, yeah. You don't want these guys to come see you.
Yeah, but getting into the UAP thing, man, you had brought it to my attention. What was it, earlier yesterday, that there was like some information that there was supposed to be a battle in the sky tomorrow with extraterrestrials. What's going on with that?
Yeah, so a gentleman by the name of Cliff High, he came up with a computer program that it's called the WebBot. It reads all internet chatter, news stories, and everything, and then it kind of formulates a formula and gives like ideas on what's happening. So like he predicted 9/11. The webbot did. Uh, earthquake and tsunami in Indonesia. Couple of those were a couple of his hits, and the webbot said that the trigger, and it said that years ago, but the trigger would be Donald Trump going on Joe Rogan would be the trigger, which happened and 38 days ago now, and it'd be 39 days from the Joe Rogan interview. And so apparently this webbot said this years ago, and then Donald Trump went on Rogan, and then the countdown, and then so it said that there'll be an aerial display, aerial battle, UAPs battling each other, and us battling UAPs or UFOs for those who don't know what UAPs are. And so tomorrow's the day. So
No shit. Yeah,
yeah.
I just found an article about it. Yeah, so this is an AI though. This is like a
You could call it that. It's not actually AI. I would say it's an AI. It's doing what AI does. But this guy's had this thing for many years, which it could definitely be AI.
Yep. Yeah, that's insane, dude. Like, I mean, that'd be incredible though. I think it's us, dude. I think we're staging an alien invasion. I think it's gonna be staged.
It's coming.
You know, Justin, just to tap in with your comment. We covered that a little bit earlier on in the episode. We agree. We talked about the Burisma thing. We talked about the accepting money from Ukraine and all the weirdo collusion and shit that went on with Hunter Biden. We even put up a picture of him smoking crack.
Never happened.
Hold on one second. Here, let's see here. Just this one's for Justin. You know, but yeah. Either way, getting back to the UAP thing, man, is it's starting to seem like the consensus is that they're like ours. You know, like it's shit that we reverse engineered, and like a lot of these dudes like Rush and Lou Elizondo and Tom DeLonge, who was the other big one there, Fravor, just weren't saying that they were exclusively extraterrestrial, you know. And what better way to test your shit than on the military?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I heard everything from even the Greek gods, man.
So, and there's just been an uptick as well in UAPs, which are UFOs, are over military bases, like, and swarms of them, like incessantly just maneuvering over nuclear bases all over the planet.
Langley, they were hitting up Langley last month, hitting an Air Force base in the UK. It's just been wild, man. It's a wild time to be alive. I mean, we live with Elon Musk too, man. It's just dope. I know there's a lot of negative shit like we discuss and a lot of bullshit, but you just gotta have fun out there, man. Live your life. Like, don't let this shit get you down. Like, you know what I mean? Because good people like us connect, we vibe, we share information, we grow, we can build a better world, man. So I know shit be negative, but you gotta keep your mind right too.
Yeah, absolutely. And just keeping your head on a swivel out here. Mm-hmm. And talking about it like we do is for all of us. And we love when you guys tap in. Thank you so much for all the comments tonight. That was huge. And yeah, this is the best way to fight back, is just to keep spreading information. And we can't let it depress us. We know this shit's going to happen. No. We just got to take these instances like the Senate thing, the House Oversight Committee thing, and we have to really take these things into account and say, look, we have to be objective. We can't be like, oh no, government, come save me, because they're willing to lie and they're willing to mislead the truth and falsify documents and hide shit. They're willing to kill their own presidents, so
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Justin. Thanks for tapping in, man. It was
Yeah,
huge.
man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot you a message, man. We'll get up here soon, maybe get you on the podcast. We'll probably wrap this one up, man. It's getting kind of late.
Okay.
But thank you so much for everyone tapping in. We appreciate you guys. And make sure you hit the subscribe button. Click that thing. Help us out.
Peace.
Later.